What's the best thing about a hat in time? That's what I've been thinking about lately. We've got plenty of possible best things, like Hat Kid, nope. Hats, levels, yes, that's it, levels. It took me about 3 whole minutes to figure that out, and another 30 to make sure I was right. Also, a cute detail here. Most of the levels cluster together and form a whole world. It's a planet. Alright, since levels are the best thing, what's the best level? Well, I like the murder mystery one myself, and if I talk about every single level, that'd take forever. How about it, instead of each level, I save time and make things interesting by comparing the worlds against each other. That'd skip a lot of pointless stuff. No fluff in this video. No sir, just good content. How about we find out what's the best world in a hat in time? In this installment of Sub Indy's Game Show Extravaganza. Let's meet the contestants. On the right side, we have Mafia Town. Hey, is it just me or does anyone else think the Mafia are a hive mind? Like the Borg? Same outfits, personalities, and voice? They act in unison, kill one of them right next to another. They don't care. They don't even flinch. Like they're replaceable, as if nothing was lost. Also, by the way, no DLC worlds in this comparison. The base game has plenty of content, and I don't have any money. So that's that. Moving on to the next world, we have a fan favorite, Battle of the Birds, or as I like to call it, Movie World. Unlike the rest of the contenders, this one doesn't have a hub area. So each level in Movie World has to stand on its own. That's what makes a Hat in Time so good after all. Most of the levels have new things to do, plus a little story. Movie World is really good at this. Okay, the next world, Subcon Forest. This world includes the epic toilet monster, and the hub area is really, really big. Also really similar looking too. And last but not least, Alpine Skyline. This place looks nice and explorable, but you can't, it's just an illusion. Turns out it's nearly as restrictive as the movie world. Visuals look nice though. Alright, now that I've gone through the worlds, it's time for the comparative analysis. Or it would be, if it wasn't for one tiny detail. There's a secret world. Just like the good old days back in Super Mario. Except, not at all. This secret world is made of mods. Yep, a mod world. Now, I know exactly what you're thinking. Mods wouldn't normally be a contender for best world, because usually you need to download mods from a website or the Steam Workshop, then maybe put them in the game folder and hopefully everything works. Unless I was just joking around or something, I would never allow mods like that to be part of my contest. But mods here work differently. Instead of loading them with a random menu or adding and changing files, A Hat in Time has a dedicated in-game mod room. Exactly like the other worlds. A dedicated world room. And get this, you can download and play mods right from the room. I don't recommend it, it's really slow and makes me think my computer's gonna crash, but still, you can play mod levels without even leaving the game. So this place definitely counts as a world. Well, I guess I should go over a few levels so we have an idea about the mod world. Anyone remember Elvis the Penguin? Well, that's neither here nor there. The thing is, a penguin shows up in the base game, and a base game just means a game without any mods or changes. Anyway, the penguin's levels were pretty boring. Now, I want you to forget about that. I want you to imagine Elvis had a good level. Ta-da! Someone made it. Honestly, it seems more legit than the official level. Floating in outer space, jumping on flying saucers, kind of immersive. Not as immersive as Heavenly Bodies, but no one does floating through outer space like Heavenly Bodies. If you're interested, I did a deep dive into that game. Link in the description. Okay, another level. How about this one where you chase a train with a bazooka strapped to your back? It captures A Hat in Time's violence. You know, killing people because they're annoying, I guess? Happens all the time. This level embraces that violence. It's short, but it has all the things you'd expect from the base game. A little story and something new to see. In this case, chasing a train on a scooter with a bazooka. This level is flawless. Gosh, there's so many mod levels. And they're all so different from each other. Playing them would take weeks. And by the time I finish this video, 10 new levels might come out. Yeah, not every one of them is worth playing. Some are poorly designed, and others are poorly designed by choice. Does collecting stacks of toilet paper sound fun? Not to me, but this is no ordinary level. It's commentary on current real-life events. Or I guess that was a couple of months ago already? Still, the levels of parody and satire in this level are off the charts. Take that, toilet paper hoarders. Only mods can pull this sort of thing off. Also, apparently there was a joke going around a while ago about Area 51. That's the US government's alien research facility. I knew it! The base game could not have these levels. They're way too random. But who doesn't like variety? My cat doesn't. Still, mods can do whatever you want. Maybe you want to play minigames. Well, there's a fully functional WarioWare level. Or maybe you just want to explore a nice little town. Got several options for that. But me, personally, I'd kind of like to stop playing this game. Bam! Monkey Ball. Yeah, this is one of the best things I've seen in my life too. Okay, now that we're up to speed with what Mod World brings to the table, this brings up the big question. How do you measure what's a good world? Maybe you measure the number of levels, the artistic direction, exploration, difficulty, variety, story, collecting. The correct answer is all of the above. But before I get into this, I should explain the point system. It's very complicated. Brace yourself. A world can get 1 to a maximum of 6 points. Whichever gets the most points wins. So let's get started with art. Mafia Town. It's bright, colorful, simple. And let's just say it's not hard to tell this was the first area the developers made. It's rough around the edges. Some assets don't even look like they belong here. 1 point. Movie World. Right off the bat, this place looks much more professional. The very first level starts you off in a hallway, and doesn't that look neat? Also, the assets here match. So, that's good. After this level, the next ones look totally different. The murder mystery one has a nice sepia colored filter. Next up, we got Elvis. He's a penguin. Overall, Movie World has a nice, cohesive visuals, so it gets 3 points. Subcon Forest. Pretty simple here. It's a spooky Halloween world. The quality is a mixed bag though. Some places like the haunted house are top-notch stuff. Not scary the second time, by the way. But in other places, a lot of objects just seem like they were tossed in without much attention. Things get messy. But again, other areas look great, like the swamp. So, Subcon Forest gets 4 points. Alpine Skyline. This place looks great. It's big, open, and colorful. The rubbery cartoon clouds, swirls of wind, and islands in the distance make PC fans everywhere spin like crazy. For a Hat in Time, the artistic consistency doesn't get much better than this. 5 points. And last but not least, the Mod World. Well, you see. Okay. As you can tell, the mod levels look good, and also not so good. That's the nature of mods. Anything goes. A professional 3D artist could work on a level, or someone who's never done anything with computers could take a shot at it. Some of these levels are really artistic, like this black and white one, or this low polygon level. It's simple of course, but it pulls off the look. Also, I gotta say, this detective outfit looks fantastic. Yes, it's a mod. So many other levels look great too. And if I'm honest, most mod levels look decent. It's a hard call, but Mod World gets 4 points for art. Now for the next round. The number of levels. Scholars have argued over this for weeks, but I'll keep things simple. Mafia Town gets 3 points, Movie World 3, Subcon Forest 3, and Alpine Skyline 4. No, just 3. The reason is they all have the same number of levels, pretty much. And holy moly, would you look at this. So many levels. Pages and pages of levels. Well, it deserves more points, but Mod World gets the maximum number of 6 points. Now to see who's the best at exploring and collecting. That's right, the big category for A Hat in Time. Because first and foremost, this game is a 3D platformer. But right after that, it's a collectathon. And if you're not sure what that means, don't worry, it's simple. There's a lot of stuff to collect. That's what a collectathon is. And yeah, A Hat in Time has a bunch of collectibles. Knickknacks, balls of yarn, tokens, plus other stuff too. And if you find enough of these things, you'll unlock some goodies. Like maybe a backstory level or a hamburger. So you're not just collecting for collecting's sake. With that out of the way, which world is the best at exploring and collecting? I know Mafia Town doesn't look the best, but exploring and collecting stuff is what it's good at. It's a cramped little town with no major barriers. Think Mario 64 or Sunshine. 6 points. Now, as much as I love Movie World's different levels, compared to its competitors, exploring and collecting is a weak spot. There's not much to do besides what you see. Hard to fix that when the levels are so linear. 3 points. Subcon Forest has a healthy mix of open and linear levels, so it gets a 4. Even though Alpine Skyline seems like it's the perfect place to find secret goodies, oddly it's almost as linear as Movie World. But there is a little bit more to explore, so 4 points. Although -2 for the NPC voices, they're so annoying. And last, Mod World. Now, exploring in a mod level isn't an issue. Plenty of them remain to be explored, and they're good too. Really big with lots to see. But collecting stuff is where mods fall apart. The only reason I'm including mods in this competition is because they're all in the same room. Just like the base game levels. But besides that, they don't normally have anything to do with each other. You can collect things in the levels, like timepieces and tokens, but they don't have much effect outside of the level. Maybe you play slot machines afterwards, that's about it. I did play at least one level that gave me a new hat, but it'd be crazy if other levels required you to have this Madeline costume. So, some levels do have collectibles, but they can't reward you for collecting. If they tried, well, they'd turn into a train wreck in about 5 seconds. And that's my reason to give Mod World a -2 for this category. Now for the final round. This is it, folks, the make or break moment. The last category is story. Let's start with Alpine Skyline. There's an evil plant that makes these Yeti people angry, so you need to go and kill the plant. The end. Incredible. Just fantastic. 3 points. Whoa, settle down, settle down. Okay, Subcon Forest. I don't even need to go here. We all know how it goes. You trigger a trap in the road, lose your soul, and the rest is history. 4 points. Movie World. Movies are stories after all, and luckily each level here has a little story. They're pretty alright, honestly. Except for the parade one, no real story there. The murder mystery level, though, steals the show. 5 points. Mafia Town? Well, this happens. And Red Riding Hood shows up for some reason. She's set up like this important character that you'll run into frequently. It seems sorta cool, I guess. But after this world, the game forgets about her until the final area, where she becomes Bowser. Not in a literal sense, but a lava castle, evil minions. She's Bowser. She has become Bowser. Hey, if they make a sequel, maybe they won't have an antagonist. -2 points. Now for Mod World. I've got some bad news. For the base game, the mods that focus on story have the greatest levels in this game by far. A Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney level, jam-packed with story, and tons of dialogue options. Or my personal favorite, Hat Kid steals the Declaration of Independence. Imagine Metal Gear Solid meets an interdimensional being. I don't know how else to describe it. As far as I'm concerned, this could be the very best level in A Hat in Time. Or how about that good old classic 3-act story structure? Starting with the inciting incident, rising action, then the climax. This mod here contains 3 levels that do just that. Good stuff. Now, you might think these stories are dumb, but A Hat in Time's narrative isn't exactly state of the art. The people who made these mods knew exactly what they were doing. They did a good job. So the stories in Mod World deserve 26 points. But because of rules I made up for some reason, it only gets 6. Finally, the conclusion. It's time to find out which is objectively the best world in A Hat in Time. I'll do the math. That wasn't supposed to happen. Better. Drumroll, please. In third place, with 13 points, we have Alpine Skyline. In second place, with 14 points, comes Mod World. And the grand winner, with the best set of levels in A Hat in Time, the greatest world is the movie world. With 14 points. A tie? Looks like it's time for a bonus round. We could go with the difficulty category, but seriously, mods can be way harder than anything the base game can throw at us. And if the last category was variety, mods would also win. I mean, considering all the levels I've shown, I think it's pretty clear that mods have tons of variety. So let's just wrap things up and give Mod World 6 more points. It deserves it. And with that, Mod World is the actual winner of the best world in AHiT in time. Congratulations to everyone who made it possible. I know, Movie World is great. It was practically a shoo-in for the nomination before I realized mods should count as a world. Honest. And I gotta say, most of the base levels are really nice. If they weren't, why would anyone make mods in the first place? Without a good foundation, we would miss out on all these new levels. You know, if you're not sure that mods are the best world, play some of them. Play a bunch of them. You'll find plenty of great ones. Not all of them are perfect, but if nothing else, they'll give you a good laugh. What's your favorite mod?